and welcome to the Raw Preview. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamlet and Michael Sidgwick, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamlet and Sidgwick, live on YouTube to preview Monday Night Raw. And sorry, do you mind just... There's a draft. Night 2 of the draft. Night one was spectacular, Hamlet. How did you follow that one?
Was goated.
I
love Night on Me.
It was terrible. It
wasn't terrible. It was just administrative.
It was bad. It was bad.
That's what I want for my escape.
Nia Jax arrived on SmackDown. It cannot be bad if that happens.
Sidge, I put it across on the SmackDown
Sounds if she
review.
wasn't on Raw. You can watch it whenever you like.
No, it's better on SmackDown.
I love on a show when there is something, especially if it's aesthetically pleasing, that is a diversion away from a wrestling match. Podiums, returning legends holding gold envelopes. Like right up my street, right? It's like when you've already just improved on the wrestling show because you've just lifted a mid-card match. I don't have to bother my arse with it. SmackDown was bad. Like this draft was poor.
Disagree.
SEO, time of year of other sporting drafts.
Yeah,
I get why it's happening. Like last week's Raw was an advert for why a shake-up was a good thing. It's like I've seen almost all of these pairings. I'm ready for some change. The roster is full of people I want to watch, but I just like to see them interact with other characters. And then it was just felt a bit bleak on SmackDown, just thinking, there's all these wrestlers, bar 4, staying put. Cody Rhodes being confirmed as a SmackDown wrestler when the 3 hours of Mondays desperately needs him. It's made us more nervous about who Raw might lose than anticipate who they might gain. There's been promises made, apparently, of like bigger swings in the draft. There's going to be more shocks than they were delivered on Friday, but like you're starting off from the lowest bar to clear there.
What do you make of the draft so far?
No.
Okay.
Well, what's happened? Nothing. Virtually nothing.
Well, we have got big business on Monday Night Raw now. Probably wrestling before the other one as well. Kiana James drafted to Raw. Do you reckon she'll make an appearance tonight? I hope she does. I'm really happy for her, genuinely.
I'm buzzed for Kiana James.
Just going to get 6 heatless minutes with... who's the babyface who wasn't over on that women's division?
Oh, God, there's loads of them. Tegan Knox, let's go with.
6 heatless minutes with Tegan Knox.
You better believe it. I can't wait. I'm excited for the NXT call-ups right now because I do honestly feel a parental pride over every single one of them, no matter how poor they are as wrestlers, and some of them are. I've loved watching the, in inverted commas, character development of, like, Kiana James is a perfect example. She's been involved in at least 2 stories that I've had so much fun with, and there's probably more. There's the Brooks Jensen romance angle, and then there's Gigi Dolan and the Tin of Pain.
She can lay it in as well and move and bump.
And now with no Kiana James on NXT, maybe those crazy kids can get it together, Sidge.
She was the obstacle.
No more barriers to love.
Hi to everyone in the chat, by the way. I'll try and get through your questions as much as possible.
Like to see people, mate. Very gregarious.
OG Stem Cell, thank you as always for joining us. Dr. Fed's version of Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue would go crazy for a wrestle culture, Wilbur. I'll take that under advisement. What big
How
names...
does it go again? Dr. Feelgood? I mean, I've heard it a million times.
I don't know. I'm not a Motley Crue guy. Couldn't tell you.
More of a home seat home when it comes to Motley Crue.
Pass. Yeah.
No, I'm a dreamer.
They worked a Raw that time to create the reason for Test's character to
run
exist.
away high,
Test came as Motley Crue's
so
bodyguard.
I wouldn't come home low. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home, sweet home, fucking. Absolutely go at Home Sweet Home. What does Dr. Feelgood go like? Wilborn, check it out.
Is Tommy Lee the drummer of Motley Crue?
Yes.
Right.
And he was in a... Oh!
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Chat. Don't tell... Chat. If you can answer this question, I'll be very impressed. But don't you?
I'll not look.
Don't you look either, right? Chat, guys, fellow Dadleys. Did it. What was the name of Tommy Lee's
Honeymoon tape.
rap metal, new metal adjacent, cock rock's finished, I need to stay relevant group? I don't think I've heard a single song of theirs, but as a Kerrang magazine buyer, between 1999 and before I decided to get the NME,
Yeah.
they were like in it. You know how like basically every 70s rock star was like, I'm gonna have to play a synthesizer in the 80s here to stay in the charts. There was Machine Head had a new metal album. Like some of the like mainstay metal acts went a bit new metal.
God, we need a DJ.
Yeah. Tommy Lee had a new metal / rap metal-y side project named.
Couldn't even hazard a guess.
Couldn't.
Nah.
Give you a clue. If there was one more bit of alliteration, I would have hated it. What's the magic number?
2.
Correct.
Is anything to do with his massive knob? It's got a big knob on it.
Yeah. Talking knob as well in the TV series.
Okay.
Talking Todger.
No.
Ooh. Willy-nilly.
No, because that's not even one bit of alliteration. You.
No, it just
idiot.
rhymes, yeah. That's my favourite when it rhymes.
What do you like?
It could be a tag team.
Techno Team 2000. Oh no, Techno Team.
No, it could be, not is.
Beverly Brothers.
Who was first to get it in the chat? They'll get a shout out from me. He does,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's fine. He's not using it as games.
Yeah.
It never began.
Oh, Retro J just writes big business in the chat. Hi to Jules.
Hey,
Jules.
Jules.
Methods of Mayhem.
Correct.
Shout out
Methods
to
of mayhem.
John Catter, Aditya Krishna Murphy, Arthur Ewell Jr., and Zhao Sexas. Sorry if I've butchered
Yeah, you
the
have.
name there.
And you have. We apologise for that.
And hi to Mark Lee Willis, who points out, yes, Joe Hendry is currently number 1 on iTunes today. Go and buy it.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to Joe Hendry, officially bigger than Tommy Lee. I don't know, but apparently he is.
But OG Stem Cell actually asked a question.
Oh, okay.
What big names do you think are switching shows tonight?
Switching shows. Well, none, hopefully, because Raw needs Drew, Raw needs CM Punk, and that's all the big names. So that's all we've got
Gunther?
now.
Gunther goes to
Raw needs
SmackDown.
Raw needs
Gunther.
Gunther. Could they? They could.
I think Imperium are going to SmackDown now. I think Giovanni Vinci stays on Raw to just be mint.
But you need. I was going to say you need the Intercontinental title.
they could trade
That's
the-
how synonymous Gunther was with it that I forgot he dropped the freaking thing.
Big names. They could trade the secondary champions, Sammy and Logan Paul.
They can't.
Oh, they can't be drafted.
Draft rules.
I hate this draft.
You've been explaining these rules
Because it
on
makes you
Friday.
feel
You still
stupid.
got confused.
The rules make it less fun.
No, but I think what's going to happen tonight is Logan Paul's on this show.
All right, my children.
Logan Paul's on this show, which means it's going to be goated. He's probably going to announce a new flavour of Prime or something. It's delicious. Feed it to your children.
No.
I think he's going to come out. Billy Big Bollocks. I'm the United States champion. I'm the
that's
best.
3.
I don't have to be like on this show anymore. Ugh, Raw. Ugh. And then I think Gunther's
What's
going
that, brother?
to confront him, and he's going to be like, "Thank goodness Gunther's on Raw. He's been drafted to SmackDown." Not saying he's going to fight him immediately.
Again, I just miss like Raw's 3 hours.
There's your Bash in Berlin match: Logan Paul versus Gunther.
There's a million quality Bash in Berlin matches. I was thinking about Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov as the fact that like they both generated critical acclaim from the nerdiest of losers on Cage Match, and now they're going to have this like enormous WWE PLE spectacle match, best of both worlds type thing, from the WXW roots to the BT Sports Studio to that. Could be absolutely like Gunther. I don't think they can go wrong with Gunther on that show, but I would just miss him on Raw.
Couldn't even get Gunther wrong on NXT UK. That's how good he is.
This is true.
That's how good he is.
So we realise that now there's been 2 different YouTubers in the Prime bottle, it can become like a bit. There's a different one who's Logan Paul befriended to dress in the Prime bottle, and we cracked like what's going to be one of the biggest reveals. There's going to be a new like grape flavor, maybe like a purple and black flavored bottle. So who's going to be, which YouTuber is going to be in the purple and black bottle? Thing comes off, Mr. Dead Man, because he framed you doing his YouTube face. Oh my God, I'm Prime.
Oh my God, I'm a bottle of Prime.
Whatever you got to do to stay. I used to be a bottle of Jack in my day.
Now Prime.
Didn't have the time to pull your face off it because you drank it all. Otherwise, it made you cry. Drink it, miss.
Drink it, Mazan. And what is that, French?
On the rocks, what is your problem?
We ever doing backlash now? The game's gone after France.
I suppose
What's the
Dragunov.
finish of every match? Everybody's a coward or something? What the hell happened to this goddamn company? Ever since Dwayne took over, I thought my choke slam of Medium made a point. Guess I was wrong.
Guess I'll have to do it again. Where's that, France?
Over in the UK, they let you get to France by train. That's a problem over there. Can't get to France by train from the good old United States of America. Train goes under the sea. That's how I could get the back jump on the Sharks.
Kick their ass.
Mr. Phoenix says, I'll be catching up on the pod later. I'm on a forklift right now. But are we in a fever dream? The Rock gives Drew a sword. Ziggler is the AAA champion. Kenny put over Roman and Darby got hit by a bus.
That's funny. I'm having a bad day with the Fed, right? Murray
I'm having a good day.
Murray told me today, and I had no idea. Drew's just signed. That's good. That was a good bit of intrigue that you've just killed. Thanks very much. So the
You think
Rock
Dwayne is not aware of anything and just doesn't realise?
done it again, hasn't he, with the Cody thing? But it's like we can't pivot back from that. There's a summer's worth of intrigue. Like, even though we knew he was going to sign, obviously
The 1% of doubt.
Yeah, that was all you needed to make it a fun little sort of homage to the Punk thing. All nicely set up. It's gone now because Rock wanted to post on Instagram that he bought him a sword. Thanks, Dwayne. Yeah, your Rock is back. This is not my Rock. That's what it was.
We projected this onto the storyline. Maybe it was never the plan.
Maybe. Well, it should have been the plan. It was a good plan. Good projection.
Thinking no better than the business, boy. Marks.
Also, how is a Dynamite or Collision with a Rampage attached any better than a 3-hour Raw?
I think
This
it
is a weird criticism to make. If you hate 3-hour Raw so much, why are you such a mark for the Fed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of got you there, actually. Answer that. Answer it in the comments below. It's different because
It's a bit like WWE, this, which I also really like. I'll like it both then. Double your fun.
it's not a good message at its core, but they are telling you that if you're sticking around, it's just Rampage. And the hardcores will get their Rampage. They'll probably increase the Rampage number.
I'm personally concerned
You're concerned by it.
that
Setting a precedent.
yeah, it's your God-given duty to avoid the 3rd hour whenever it happens.
Because it is happening, isn't it? They're testing this out as a way to make it permanent. And I think Rampage's numbers will go up a little bit, but I think the hardcore base might 1 week be sold on a Rampage because there's something happening at the end of the Dynamite that's going to overlap into it. But they're telling you that it's not as important.
That's the way these friggers get away with it. I was going to say the other F word, but I thought, monetization. These fuckers. That's how these fuckers get away with it. Where they
Thank goodness we
basically
didn't swear earlier on in the podcast.
they'll test the waters.
Yeah.
And they'll break the seal of that original, like, you never feel the same things again. Life just, you get older and then you get more miserable and then you die. But if you apply that concept to everything else, it's like the first cut is the deepest. And then it's like, you've done it now, who cares?
Yeah.
That's how they get away with it.
Dragunov onto the main roster. Where did you want to see him? Raw, SmackDown?
Raw.
Yeah?
Raw, definitely.
I
SmackDown's got enough for that 2 hours a week, considering that they'll have a Cody promo most weeks if they want it. The Bloodline stuff, I think, is going to be pretty good going forward. There's a Dragunov match a week, and then he's really charmed me on NXT. I did not want to look at him, quite frankly, and the matches and that weird character he plays, which is uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to be stuck in a lift with it. I wouldn't want to go for a pint with it. It does fit within the rules of WWE's universe, and I think it'll work on
he
Raw.
fit into the NXT universe because he was the gatekeeper who made all the very green, and they are obviously going to be green. It's not up for debate, and it's not a criticism either. They're going to be green. Dragunov was the guy who made so many of them look awesome. So he'll be missed very much, I think, on NXT. So I don't think it quite applies to Raw. But, and I don't want to wade into this discourse because I kind of hate it, but Dragunov is going to have to get over on the strength of his in-ring performances, and he will get more match time on Raw. And quite frankly, as much as I'm pretty bored of long matches for the sake of it, Dragunov is in that echelon of you can make long matches work, so bloody go for it.
He's got the sort of stuff as well, even if they're quiet to begin with. He's an easy one to stick with because very quickly his signature spots will get over.
We saw it in the building in the Wells Fargo on Raw. Like the people next to us had their arms folded. Go on, impress me.
Yeah.
And towards the finish, he was getting those reactions.
And that's the start, isn't it? Once people
That's
know
how
to
a
wait
wrestler-
for that.
I think that's how a wrestler who's great at wrestling will get over by wrestling matches. It's very, very simple.
Yeah, once you get to see him, you realise, in his own words, that he is
Very entertaining.
We'll play a game drafting some more NXT wrestlers in a short while, as well as the Raw Riddle coming your way a little bit later on. Just looking on the...
Shout out to whoever gets it first in the chat. Actually, no, because we cannot reveal the answer.
I'll note it down and give him a shout out tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just looking on the Wikipedia for the draft night 2, Braun Strowman's listed on there. Do you think he could make a surprise return tonight? Technically, right now, he's on Raw, according to this at least.
Yes, because
I thought he was with Ricochet
well,
on Smackers.
Ricochet's still on Raw. That's right, isn't it? So
Did he get drafted last year and I forgot?
Aye. So like, but if Braun comes back, I want to get that team back together straight away. The Ricochet singles push started and ended with the Logan Paul match. So hoy them back together. It was feeling right.
It'd be good against A-Town Dan Ander. Now we're not getting the Wolf Dogs.
Be good against everybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, there are benefits to that division. Absolutely.
They
Suit
have
each other.
a kind of weird symbiotic relationship where Ricochet needs someone to get over.
Yeah. And Braun's like the human train is a good hot tag. Who'd have thought that?
Yeah.
You know, like, it does work.
This is, of course, the go-home show ahead of Backlash
Rob
France.
Braun and Ricochet versus the Graveyard Dogs.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I bump for a big guy. I ain't doing a goddamn thing for him.
What do the Creeds do?
Ricochet, what is that, French?
I'm thinking Creed versus Graveyard Dogs. Put the Undertaker down. Guy flinging his big ass at one on the other one's shoulders. It's all changed around here.
It is the go-home show ahead of Backlash France, of course.
Yeah.
Only one match currently booked from Raw on that show.
Backlash in French.
I learnt this and I've forgotten it already. Contre-group. Contre-group.
Good.
They're going to add Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed.
Yes.
It's already on the card, isn't it?
Is it already on the card, is it?
Maybe it was like one of those, like really, you know, like when you see people make match graphics.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, Karrion Kross versus the Dead Man.
I was going to say it's supposed to be dream matches, aren't they?
I was going to say this is like, you know, classic Simpsons where Bart Simpson's like fantasies of his older life were like really grim.
Yeah.
That's the match graphic fantasy version of that.
Alan Partridge doing like a long
Bronson
form,
Reed versus Sami Zayn.
a long form bit, and then halfway through the bit, he starts having an argument with himself. It's it's happening. It's like this Backlash card
Is poor.
has got a bunch of very predictable title matches and now else. It's which is
They've got the Bloodline match I'm looking forward to.
that's the extra. I was surprised they're putting that on now, and I do really like. I mean, I'm kind of into this new Bloodline. I really like Owens and Randy Orton as a team, so I don't mind that. And Jade and Bianca winning the tag belts? It's going to be nice to see.
God.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's going to be great for the hot crowd. Looking forward to the look of the SmackDown and the look of Backlash and how hot it all is. But it's a fairly run-of-the-mill show. To your point, actually, you said Elimination Chamber was fairly predictable and it was still good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Although I suppose they could set up, with Logan Paul being on the show, they could set up a surprise title match for him. What do you see Logan doing on the show tonight?
I forgot he was on it, actually. Because I associate him with SmackDown.
Different world now. It's a draft.
It's all changed since this draft came along.
See where they are tonight, quickly.
Oh yeah, that might help.
Why?
Because he might have some sort of localized heat with the area. Or if they're in Cleveland, that's his hometown, isn't it?
It is.
A home state. If it's Ohio, I don't know. I ain't got nothing for Logan Paul. I ain't got nothing for him. Like,
He turns up. I don't like his television builds aren't particularly great. He just turns up and wows you all over again with how precocious a talent he is.
It's getting a bit.
Jesus.
What is it?
I've just seen Backlash has sold 12,500 tickets.
Oh, yeah.
They were in the Heritage Wank Centre on Friday night. Struggling to find where they are for.
He's struggling to think of something to rhyme.
He's known the location for 5 minutes. He
just
just needs a pun.
Because Rastix is all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, pal.
I'll keep looking.
Just Google it.
Yeah, Logan Paul is... We're past the point where it's like, what a surprise package this guy is. But he's really good and a cheating heel. I don't know what exactly they're selling me with Logan Paul anymore.
Just pick a baby face and we'll move on to the next question.
Who have they got? Like,
honestly, right, it's already started. And I've made this point in an article, but not in podcast form, right? It's already started. The first ripples of a backlash. Contre coup of Cody Rhodes as the bloodline stands who are trying to manifest it and it isn't happening.
That's nonsense.
And there's some good faith of, yep, when's it going to get great, this title reign? And let's cool our jets. He's had it for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But, these things do tend to happen. If you want to insulate Cody Rhodes from a backlash, we were in the stands at WrestleMania, incredibly privileged to be there. There were people who didn't like Cody. There were people who didn't like Becky Lynch. There was a contrarian element in pockets throughout. There was not a single person that I could hear who even vaguely liked Logan Paul. The guy is just, apart from this idiot who thinks he's a goat.
Let's go.
He is the one, I think, for Cody. I think he needs to drop that US title and fail upwards.
Yeah.
Which I'm never really an advocate for in terms of booking, but it's the Fed. I have no expectations.
SummerSlam.
In Cleveland.
Logan Paul is the guy who people just do not like, even when they want to be contrarian. Like, just no one liked him. He was great. Got the best face to be a heel. I think Cody versus Logan Paul at some point should be the direction. Therefore, he should stay on SmackDown.
I think he's going to win Money in the Bank. Probably. And then call his shot potentially for SummerSlam. If not Sami Zayn, obviously I always keep booking Sami Zayn to win.
Zayn has never needed it less.
Yeah.
At this time of year as well. I think Logan Paul's a good shout for that, yeah.
Thanks to Brian Vedig.
Oh,
in the chat.
thanks, Brian.
They're in the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City tonight.
Good ad.
Sorry.
Good ad cans and ass.
And AS.
I don't know. I don't automatically think of a wrestler. Oh, Kansas wrestlers or wrestlers from Kansas City.
It's Randy Orton. He's a Kansas guy, isn't he? I think.
Is he?
I think so.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sure is bland.
What do you think is next for Becky Lynch now? Does she defend the title at Backlash as well? Do you do the Liv Morgan stuff straight out the gate or no?
No, I don't think she's needed for Backlash. It's going to be 6 matches if they had the Sami Zayn one, and that's about the length of these Triple HB shows. I like Becky Lynch winning the title. Earnestly, I think it was again Liv Morgan winning it in a battle royal would have at least got you to where that character needs to get to. But you could sense a little bit of pushback on Becky Lynch winning for the first time, and not just because Liv Morgan's got a crazed stan portion of her audience. There was just less of that when she went into the crowd to get that specific kind of wrestling celebration where people are just overjoyed that the star is even near you. There was a few people that were already a little bit over it, and it did feel a bit
Caretaker manager.
kind of. Was it when Dean Ambrose had the US title forever and ever and ever, and then Sheamus as a babyface won it in a battle royal, and there was a bit of a sense of injustice against the heel Dean Ambrose that this guy just coming and taking it in a situation that was leveraged against him. That's Becky Lynch here, isn't it, really? She's lost to the champion when it actually counted and has just got it anyway.
Yeah,
that's Liv Morgan's argument. She's like, well, hang on. Like, I haven't even got my proper singles match and you've just waltzed in and taken it. There's the story. I just think it stretches beyond Backlash, I would say.
I got excited for a split second because I saw Baron Corbin is from Kansas, but Kansas City is obviously not in Kansas. It's in Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri, right,
So,
okay.
but you're right. Randy Orton is from now round these parts.
I love how that's such a deep trivia pull It's like he's one of the most decorated stars in WWE history. And no one cares where he's from.
I've heard his introduction like that time over 22 years. I might have picked up where he's from.
So it's fast forward, I made a cup of tea or something.
Know where he's from, loves a headlock, cummy handshake, and that's Randy Orton.
That's Randy Orton.
Aditya Krishnamurthy says in the chat, rehab segments with Liv Morgan helping Dom recover.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Yes, the most excited I've been for Monday Night Raw is not like the romance, the potential budding romance between Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. Bang into it.
Yeah. We've got the Judgment Day in action tonight, or what's left of them at least. Damian Priest, JD McDonough, and Finn Balor taking on Jey Uso, Andrade, and Ricochet.
Hot moves.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
I could see the Judgment Day getting drafted, you know, because Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are out of.
Yes.
So it's just those three, isn't it? I could see them getting drafted. It's
Wouldn't pay it off, you don't think?
like.
I mean, they kind of maybe did last week.
And they still can. Damian Priest's going to retain against Jey Uso. Champions can go wherever they want. Is that right? Like that. What are the rules?
It's so irritating that you don't know the rules. Or when the rules aren't
the
explained
rules aren't-
adequately.
This is it. The rules aren't clear, Sitch. They've got that Finn Balor thing, haven't they? Finn wants to win the tag belts back. Who are the babyface they're fighting here?
Andrade, Ricochet, and Jey Uso.
Judgment Day win then.
Well, no, because Jey Uso's going to beat JD McDonough, and then people are going to go, oh my God, holy shit. Do you know what this means? This means Jey Uso's going to win a backlash.
Yeet, 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 yeet. Love that. That's all I needed. Thanks, Sitch.
You're all right.
I mean, it's back. The power is back for a bit.
Let's get some questions from the chat. Shout out to Steve Nicolakopoulos, a.k.a. Edward Shiraz Hands.
This guy.
G'day, handsome gents. If you could draft a female and a male wrestler in for one PLE cycle from another company, who would you draft and who'd they face? Time for the dream match of Kenny versus Styx. Love it.
Good. Very good.
The answer to a lot of wrestling questions is Kenny Omega.
Sure is.
Well, not this week, of course. If you gave me the opportunity to pick anyone from the AEW roster,
You actually want to... What?
if I could pick anyone from AEW right now coming over to WWE, no thank you, Kenny Omega. No thank you, Will Ospreay. No thank you,
Bryan Danielson.
Even if he was fit right now, no thank you, MJF. Because there's one guy that me and Sid are falling in love with.
And it is the Beast Mortos. We'll do with the powerhouse modulation voice. Mortos. Yeah. For me, I never want to see it because I do believe you cannot blunt this guy's blade, and he would see it on Raw. I want to see Kenny Omega in a WWE ring once, just to see what it would look like. To see what reaction he would get. Who would he? Kenny Omega versus Gunther. Danielson versus Gunther, I think, are more stylistically compatible. I think that realistically would be the better match. But Kenny versus Gunther, imagine the acceleration of the V trigger just going up for the leap, the pumping element of it, and then chopped to death.
I'd take Kenny as well, and I don't even care if he's currently not fit. I'd take today Kenny Omega versus today CM Punk, because the things they do with their goddamn minds when they couldn't with their bodies would still be good and better than half the stuff that's on TV every week.
Yeah.
So I would take Kenny there. Women's division, probably Mercedes Moné to challenge SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley for me.
I don't know. I really don't know. Who's trying to... I always like to think of a contrast. It's been my new bugbear of late. It's not of contrasts in terms of you've got a completely different character to this person. You'd have a natural hostility towards one another. Where is that in the women's division? And I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'll go Riho versus Nia Jax, please.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. I'll absolutely go for that. Now, I would be praying for Riho's well-being, even though, to her immense credit, I think Nia Jax has done a really good job of shedding that reputation, which was earned and deserved at the time.
Yeah.
She hasn't really looked reckless. Obviously, there's been no reports of her being stiff, even if no one's actually gone on the injury list. That said, stigmas are really hard to shake across wrestling and indeed in everything. I would watch that with my the cliche of like the fingers over the eyes. That's a great shout. So much so, in fact, Adam Wilborn.
Hey, just call me butter, baby. I'm on a roll.
You are.
I'd, like if you could take a gimmick included, and they've done that a bit more with AEW signings of late, considering that she's just not been used that long that you could almost forget about her and what a massive star she was. Britt Baker, wholesale in the WWE with that, pretty much with that character and rolled out. She's proven that she could be a TV wrestling star. The matches, I don't know, truthfully, but I wouldn't mind seeing that character presented pretty much the same way, but just in
It wouldn't be the same way. They don't have the imagination to do half the comedy.
Oh, yeah. Get that dentist office match.
Like that bit where she actually brought in the sandbag.
Yeah.
Because how do you defend against a thunderstorm? That's AEW, and that's not what WWE can do. I'm sorry.
Some
Role
interesting
model stuff in the wheelchair, though. That was pretty good.
Pretty broad, so yes, it
WWE
would
could do
work.
that.
Thank you to Steve, by the way. He said 11 out of 10 Australian accent, no notes. Also in the chat, Aracor suggested Thunder Rosa versus Asuka, which is an interesting suggestion. And DJ Rando from
The match graphic alone would look tits.
DJ Rando from Tampa Bay says the Beast Mortos versus El Torito. So, what to think about there.
It'd be better than the Rey Phoenix match. And that was good, but the El Torito one, the bumping for that being insane.
It would be pretty good.
I love the teeth on that mask.
Yeah.
Teeth in the ring through the nose.
Like a ball.
I like
So
that.
good.
And that like dive thing he did, where he kind of only started it when he was already halfway through the ropes.
Yes. He's
the rotation.
unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
He's the best. Is there a better first impressions wrestler than the Beast Mortos? Where you just look at him
I
and
have to
think,
say it now.
belt.
Yeah.
It's like, put a belt on him.
We were booking it. We were
So
booking
I'll
to
get the
fight
action
Swerve
figure.
at nothing, basically.
I'm not being funny, right? If I took my kids to like the toy rack at like the toy store, like buy him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that, Dad? Well, actually, son, that's the Beast Mortos.
Who's your favourite wrestler? The one with the bull face on it?
Yeah. He's a ball.
Glenn Chapman, by the way.
Lucha ball.
Very good.
Nice.
Not very good. It's just a pun.
All right. The
They all
Lucha
count.
Ball. The Lucha Ball. Kane was born in Spain.
Yes, this is true. He was.
B-O-R-E.
Speaking of Glenn's, Glenn Chapman
homophone.
says, following on from the exciting announcement of the Stacks and Tony D figs for Wilborn the other week, has Dr. Fed seen the ringside exclusive AEW Jeff Jarrett that's up for pre-order?
No.
Majestic.
Oh my God. Jeff Jarrett, there's a weird thing with Jeff Jarrett where he's been very unlucky in the figure world. He's, because of his kind of
Lack of drawing power.
No, Sige. Because he's such a smart and shrewd businessman. He tends
No,
to
he
lead,
isn't.
Tends to lead companies at just the right time for Jeff Jarrett, right? And as a result, he missed out on the last wave of
He
Hasbro's.
jumped from the WWF to WCW in 1999.
He did, and he won 4 world titles. He just didn't really get an action figure because by then WCW was kind of in the trash, right? Oh my God, look at that! I like you get happy face and series. Look at the red guitar with the red jacket.
Someone's birthday tomorrow, isn't it?
Just
It's someone's birthday tomorrow. And I
speaking
will
of which-
not be buying him a present.
Matt Rains says, happy Monday, brothers, and an early happy birthday to my dear friend of just over 3 weeks. Hope you have
thank you, Matt.
you, Matt.
I love this new start.
hope you have the best day tomorrow. More Looney Tunes on podcast, please. Tweety Bird, more like Twatty Bird.
I feel
Deep-
removed
deep
from
pull.
this. Is there some rubbish you do on the SmackDown?
I don't even know what's this in relation
From
to.
Wrestle Culture, we were doing
Was it
Looney Tunes.
bit? I can't
I
remember.
can't remember.
Sounds
Last
great.
week.
Is it something from one of your quizzes?
Probably. Yeah.
One of your quizzes.
Like a joke answer.
One of your little quizzes, Adam.
I feel like we were trying to come up with like a knob gag around Wile E. Coyote for some reason.
Ah, no, that was good. I was there.
What was that? I can't remember what that was for. Where did that spin off from?
I can't. I'll never remember that in a million years.
It was last year.
Got more bits. More toss. See, that's a neat
Yeah,
bit.
that's the thing now.
Cowshick, thank you for your question. Says, be nice. Feel the WWE boom is top heavy. The stories and promos with top guys have substance and are compelling, but the rest skippable. Is Triple H the booker of January to April?
Yes, but only because I feel like Tony Khan dropped the ball a little bit and Triple H held on long enough to get through WrestleMania and WWE be totally goated. Like, I'm
For the
all,
Intercontinental title picture alone, for me, it's Levesque
Yeah.
so far. That's the most I've been like properly wrong-footed in the best way.
I think the Mania build broadly owned, Mania delivered, like all the big payoffs you wanted. I'd kind of already forgotten about how impressive that Gunther to Sammy with Gable stuff has been. So yeah, it's still Tony Khan's year to take away now, I think. Like, I still think like a couple of huge angles in the summer and like a good build into Wembley, especially. I think it's his year. I don't know. I got some worries about the Fed guys.
The weekly TV post WrestleMania has been. He's actually annoyed. Look, he's visibly annoyed.
You said, "Oh, it's going to be see him now after WrestleMania." It's been great. Chill out. Be positive. Come on.
Chill out.
We're champions, man. Dilly ding, dilly dong.
WWE's weekly TV after WrestleMania has been pretty
Good. Yeah.
No, it's been really uninspiring.
Disagree, but I'm going to hold fire on whether or not he's the booker of January to April, because tomorrow, which is still April if I'm not mistaken, we got night 2 of Spring Breaking, dude.
I know you're
bro,
being
it's
facetious.
just like, dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude.
Just a
just
nil.
like you pull in and you just get
Shut up,
spit
yo.
right out of them, and you just drop in and just
Right. Is it still good?
and then after that, you just drop in, you just ride the barrel and get pitted, so pitted like
It's
that.
so bad.
I don't think, other than Cody, obviously, but like, we all have a laugh at Shawn Michaels because he's an idiot. His show's bad. It's just really fake. The job he's done with Trick Williams this year, in terms of like what your numbers look like to where they should be, what you've built, what you've got your fan base really into, Shawn Michaels and Trick Williams, it's like, it's a really good collab. Oration.
There was
I just instantly reminded myself, you're 38.
there was merch and dice at Stand and Deliver for so many guys that I thought, I could see that T-shirt in a crowd. It wasn't just like the Chase U one that like other people were wearing. People had gone to Stand and Deliver in full support of that roster. It wasn't just, WrestleMania's over the road later on.
Yeah.
Like, you could see the merch for all these wrestlers, these characters, to have, again, I say a small audience, a niche audience, but enough that day to like pretty much fill that building. People do care.
They're on the
It's-
USA Network.
It's strange. But it's still NXT. You watch it, and I love it, and yet I'm surprised that people actually care about it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that's, and I enjoy watching it, and I'm still thinking, but you don't feel deeply for these characters enough to invest in them. And they buy the shirts. And I'm like, well, I guess you do.
Thank you to Mr. Twilly, who just throws some change for some Mountain Dew in the chat. Thank you very much for that.
Very much. I always appreciate that.
Just Darryl says, I've sat on this one for a minute. While the Bloodline story isn't finished, Roman's reign is. What is the single best moment of the Bloodline? Cheers, Goats. Cheers, Darryl.
You go first.
Uh,
I've got mine. Do you want me to go for?
I would say it's I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says and everything that followed that. There's hard zoom into Roman's face, Sammy breaking, Jay and Roman all in that one segment. There was that run of probably 4 or 5 of those SmackDown in-ring segments, and that was my favourite. And I remember at the time, that had happened on a Friday on SmackDown, and then the Saturday and Sunday would be people catching up, and a lot of people just predisposed to not like anything about WWE, and it was kind of like mid-2022 as well. So there wasn't even like necessarily loads of evidence of change, just a bit if you were watching kind of religiously like we do. And people were saying, all right, yeah, I did tune in for that, and it was unbelievable stuff. Like, so watchable. Everybody was great in their roles, and that one specific segment for me, because I loved that moment of catharsis for Jey Uso before it all went silly, but they were having a nice time.
Tits up. For me, right, there's a very stylized quality to all of the professional wrestling that I tend to consume within the scope of my coverage. And there's a certain tone, I guess, that's missing. And from heels, I don't know, like the cadence of everyone is just very stylized and produced. And it's something I've struggled with WWE specifically for years. Like, no one feels like a nasty, mean bastard anymore. And I don't really feel true, like, hatred towards the heels. My favorite Bloodline moment is when it was a bait and switch, but you just got a glimpse of what a really horrible arsehole Roman Reigns was. And it's when, like, got a T-shirt off him. Like, it's just like Sami Zayn, by being, like, clothing removed from him, looking really frightened. Like, he just looked so vulnerable. You couldn't help but be really sympathetic towards him. Like Roman just looked like an arsehole, like debasing this guy. I just felt something deeply for Sami Zayn in that moment. I thought it was orchestrated perfectly.
Couldn't have given him the new T-shirt in a nice way.
Yeah.
He wanted to reduce him first before he gave it wasn't just to surprise us.
And that incited the best run of the Bloodlines thing. But the feeling I had was like, don't, he looks like an arsehole. You're making him look so bad here. But like in the best way, because I just wanted to get behind Sami. I thought that was so well measured.
It's all Sami stuff, isn't it? Like I love
for me, I
love those moments. The trial of Sami Zayn.
Oh my God!
The post, the rumble,
Jay reaching him out of shot.
Look
to
of
stop the
Sami.
Yeah.
You who's stopping this?
I will say, extending past that, the Usos pinning Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank,
And I'll say
earned and white hot. And
I'll say Roman Reigns pinning Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania 39 because it's completely justified. John Catter says, Sidge mentioned how the Bucks might try to take over booking on Dynamite as TK's injured, but could that be Kenny's role? He steps in to stop them.
Well, I don't want to be this.
the Kenral manager.
Oh my God.
I agree. It is worthy of that.
Should we just step on our dicks for the preview because they've been very nice enough to engage with us and ask us a question? I think separately and together, myself, Andy Murray, and Michael Hamflet have both realised, even if you don't like the way that they tell stories or think it's a little bit too cute, you cannot deny the level of thought that the Elite put into things. It was very notable to us when we connected the dots that, all right, okay, Jack Perry didn't punch Tony Khan in the face or didn't wait for him to turn around and then forearm to the back. He punched Tony Khan in the gut. Who has had problems with his guts recently? Kenny Omega. I think that's a bit of a foreshadowing to Kenny Omega's fate on Dynamite this week because I feel like he's very candid on these streams. Didn't really think he was going to be involved because he's not in any condition to be involved. This feels like he's in Winnipeg, daft not to use the hometown guy when you've got a heel unit that wants, every heel unit wants heat, but like they are going to be the top prospect, the top act on the show. Have Jack Perry punch Kenny Omega in the gut, much like he did with Tony Khan, as foreshadowed, in Winnipeg, and instantly, Jack Perry versus Kenny Omega just feels pretty damn big when Kenny Omega, God willing, is able to return.
They have the potential to deliver. I mean, I don't mind if they do go massively overboard with it for the heat as well, but they have the potential to have Jack Perry do that and the Young Bucks and Okada do nothing physical.
Okada and Kenny in a ring.
So they like those specific.
It's going to be goated enough.
Imagine them in a trios match at Wembley as well, you know.
The tease of them.
They'll wrestle it all out, but we'll get to see the trios, right?
The tease of
I
them.
know it's funny because it's true.
Because it makes you really sad. Yeah, them like could nearly physically interact, but then they decide they don't need to. The damage is done. Nice one, Jack. You got him. And we've just like there's that moment where it's like Okada's going to pick him up and Rainmaker. They're going to do the EVP. And those specific characters physically.
Hang my page in the
Kenny
tunnel
Omega.
again.
That's goated.
I'd love it. Honestly, like I don't need Kenny Omega as an authority figure. I don't need
any
Tony Khan as an authority figure.
Yeah.
No, it's like
Jack
this
Khan?
But you want Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce to be one.
works in WWE. Doesn't work so well in AEW.
Well, there's more than just two. There's one more. Her name's Ava. She hasn't got a surname. She's the Rock's daughter and the general manager of NXT. Remind me, I've got to do the NXT draft in a minute.
AEW's
Riddle.
lasted 5 years without one. I don't want that to change just because WWE have kind of finally made it work within their own rules.
It would be a funny skit if before he gets written out, Kenny Omega believes he has to be
the responsible EVP.
after saying on the stream, I shouldn't be one, for shoot. It's like, well, because he's quite awkward sometimes. I love him, but he's quite awkward sometimes in these verbal segments of him going, right, okay, well, off the top of my head, here's a great card of action we could have. And like him just doing this bit could be goated.
You know, it'd be lovely. There's a callback for the like sort of elite sickos. He's there with Alex Marvez because it's always Alex Marvez. He's doing an interview. He's like, Kenny, it's great to have you back. What are you?
You're the boss now, Kenny.
What are you going to say to the people? You're the boss. Like, I'll explain my actions in the ring. He just walks in his own tune.
Sailor Airman says, very excited for when Rhea Ripley returns and Liv Morgan has her title and her man, and we get Dominic Mysterio on a bowl match. Wouldn't rule it out.
On a pole aside, but that's actually pretty funny when I think of the visual. Like he's wedged up, hanging by like his underpants. It is all potentially really good. Like she's got to get a title, and Dominic's this pathetic little weed that is immediately just thought, right, well, you're out of the way. I've got Liv Morgan now. Class. Works for me. It's good stuff.
She can either win her title or save him from like getting buried in concrete. She doesn't even, not a second title, please, obviously. Derek Verissimo sort of ruined by what we were talking about earlier, but Derek says
Thanks for the question.
Drew goes undrafted, free agent. Still do the summer of Drew with him wrecking people in all 3 brands and beyond.
Could be too much of a good thing, that.
Yeah. It just would have been nice to not know 100%, and then because WWE have got this like odd thing where they'll do a bit with TNA every now and then, or there'll be like an indie that they could have let Drew go to for the night. There was just
ICW,
you know, one thing that I've just thought of here, right? In 2011, it was this weird thing where WWE kind of wore its incompetence as a badge, and it sometimes drove storylines and, well, in fact, all the authority figures, which is stupid.
Yeah.
They didn't mind for whatever reason, and I hated this and said it was stupid at the time. WWE is the incompetent organization, and they made this canon. And CM Punk was allowed to articulate this sort of thing. Hence the original completely retconned and ruined beyond recognition Summer of Punk idea. If you're WWE, right, and it's 2024 and you are white hot as you've been in decades, why would you have one of your characters come out and say, that's a bit crap, this?
Because he's a heel.
I might move. But I still don't. It's one thing for him to say, I've been screwed. I've been screwed. I've been screwed. Over and over again.
It's your nephew.
That deafest son-in-law. Maybe I'll go and defend it. Sorry. It's got Ilya Dragunov then. It's one thing for him to say, it's that bloody bloodline. Aren't they baddies?
Yeah.
To then try and put that heat on the promotion and saying, I've been mismanaged. Maybe I'll go to a better promotion. I don't think that fits Levesque's 2024 MO, or is it a good fit for this promotion? The whole idea is you can be upset with the other characters in it, but the idea, especially when Drew, even though he's a heel, is getting that, what a good hater he is.
Yeah.
People just love the character. If that character, who they love and is quite cool right now, is saying, WWE's bad, like, I think it's overstated, but like, Dave Meltzer had a point. People started to heel on AEW when they were turning babyface, so the fans started to gravitate towards them. And then people were like, yeah, I like that character more than the entity sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like when MGF was basically quitting and stuff.
Drew's like,
I didn't get it, but I saw the wisdom in it.
Drew's in the perfect spot right now because the new heat, realistically, is love to hate heat, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
hates a heel earnestly 100% with the button. Like kids maybe, but like, other than that, as an adult, Drew's in that perfect spot that I would say MJF was in all those years ago as well, where it's just, I cannot wait to see you and boo you and hate you and contribute to this sort of thing. So yeah, maybe you lose a bit of that if you start. And Triple H, Christ almighty, does he want like I was going to say on the nose, but everything's on the nose with him. Like he wants a claim every single way he can get at the moment. So the last thing he would write into his own show is that somebody doesn't like it here. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Matt Rains says, can we have the Hey Colt Cabana, how you doing in the Drew accent, please?
Okay, 1 second. Hi, Colt. there. Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing?
Good stuff. Speaking of accents, Sailor Airman says, would like to see Willie do more Canadian accents, eh? Although the stereotype is really just the Atlantic provinces. The rest of us just sound American. I can't do Canadian.
No.
Is that you doing Canadian?
Was clear.
Was that you doing Canadian?
I don't know what's Canadian. Oh, what's all that about? Eh?
Yeah, but
Yeah, a boot.
I apologise.
it's in Philippines. Hey, take a load up, buddy. You're not my buddy, friend.
American a boot. Well, you know, you're
Saying A at the end.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you're Bret Hart, it's not going to sound like this. You do a good Bret. Do it, Bret.
All I'm saying is the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, he's running around backstage saying he won't do the job. Well, I'm not going to do the job either. And I said
Goes around like he's a male stripper all the time.
I
I don't think that's very good for the family. You know, I like to think of myself as a hero. Many people are saying it.
I said to Julie, I said, it's not even Sean, it's this asshole Triple H he hangs around with. And Julie said, you're right, Brett. And God's gonna strike him down.
He's a 4 out of 10. I thought he was generous.
I just wanted to get Jim another job, so
The big rhino.
I got Stu on the phone. He was like,
Yeah, it's a big rhino, Vince. Give him one more shit. Get the tag team back together. He was a big guy in Stampede. He put a good shot.
And that's Canadian.
and that's Canadian.
There you go.
Tick, tick, motherfucking tick.
Aaron Sheckerwood says, good morning, lads, from beautiful West Virginia, which is nowhere near Svalbard, which we talked about in the news this morning. What main roster wrestler would you like to see have an adventure down to NXT for a bit like Baron Corbin did?
Oh. Who is wacky or who's so serious that they're a good juxtaposition?
Yeah. I want somebody to go to NXT and have an Apollo Crews run, by which I mean take on a character trait that is impossible within the realms of the real world.
Yeah.
But somehow, like Baron Corbin went down to NXT and, well, maybe it was impossible. He became incredibly likable and the friend of Bron Breakker, and it was all real. Apollo Crews could suddenly see the future because he got pink eye. So I want a character that you would just not think, like maybe Sami Zayn. He's about as real as it gets. Kevin Owens, perfect. Kevin Owens.
Oh my God, yes, that's so inspired.
He points out the failings of the WWE rules. So
Kevin Owens,
imagine his head being blown clean off. What's this college? What's this mafia? Are you fucking joking? Like
Kevin
everybody
Owens.
he meets is
Kevin, that's perfect. Perfect. Kevin Owens hates WWE more than me. And he thinks WWE is more stupid than I think it is. He would go to NXT and go, like, kill the guy. He would never let that go. It's like every week. It's like, he killed a guy. He killed a guy. It's Tony Dandy. He killed a guy.
I'm not joking around here, Dijak. It's not a bit. Take those stupid sunglasses off. You're inside.
Sorry.
But yeah, Kevin Owens playing an even
He
more
would be
exaggerated.
that's such a good shout.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm disappointed if it doesn't happen. So thanks, but no thanks for your question. Thank you.
Raw Riddle, and then we'll draft some people from NXT to the main roster tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's play
Okay, let's go.
the Raw Riddle. Had a real noggin scratcher last week. I have branches but no fruit, trunk or leaves. What am I?
A bank.
Bank. The riddle today. Answer on the Raw review tomorrow, if I remember.
Have to listen to it then. You must listen.
What can't talk but will reply when spoken to? Oof. I'll keep an eye on the chat.
I mean, we don't need to answer now,
No,
do
you
we?
don't have to, just-
I know what it is, and I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
What can't talk but will reply when spoken to? And Zhao Sexy Ass has got it right.
Congratulations, sexy ass.
I will note that down for tomorrow.
I think I know.
That's the thinker.
It's a riddle.
That's it.
Big MGM says, I'd love to see Kevin's reaction to Ariana Grace. What do you mean you don't want to fight people? You're a wrestler. Why are you
Yes.
here?
Yeah. She
Yes.
makes him a T-shirt that says "Model Owens Model." So
Yes.
Like,
Oh.
The possibilities.
yeah.
Truly.
They're as endless as the metaverses within NXT.
Yes.
Well, we've already seen Kiana James.
The Heritage Cup. Why are we doing a round in the commercial break? There's already a break. Just use that as the break. No?
Yeah, no.
Love it. Why are you three guys hanging out with a full-size bottle of piss?
Yes.
Deep NXT baller.
Listen to the podcast and you'll start to get
it.
it.
Maybe. Let's be honest.
No, I don't even get it anymore.
Yeah. I never did, man.
So we've seen Kiana James move up to the main roster, but who else could join her tonight on Monday Night Raw?
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Which NXT star will get drafted tonight? And which show would you like to see them on? The usual Pro Evo rules here. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I feel like I've got more emotional investment in this one.
I am scrolling through the
I don't
NXT,
know why, I just sense it.
the NXT roster page.
Stop.
Okay, I have 12 names in front of me.
I'll go for 11 because of the ones. You see, that's where the Bloodline got drafted, by the way. 11, the ones.
Shouldn't there be one?
No, because this is the point. Like, they played it into the story. It's like they're a bit unhinged.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting.
And you're not sure what you're getting. Roman Reigns lifted himself out of it.
Ah, it's
so
not
there's
bad.
two separate
One
little
good
story
thing.
strands going on.
One good thing.
Yeah.
Sean Spears.
Oh, twist.
Okay.
Although he would be a good 10th pick, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay. 12 options again in front of me.
6.
Oh.
What's this button for this?
She was protected because he's a champion.
Of
but
course,
nevertheless.
yeah.
Axiom.
Can I have both of them? Can I get his tag team championship
Well, the
partner?
tag team.
Who's his partner again, Wilbon?
That would be one Nighty Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
I mean, it's a good draft pick, isn't it? Nathan Fraser and Axiom.
Make Raw race by.
Huh? But he'd be more suited to SmackDown because it's blue. Sonic. Raw's more of a Knuckles show. NXT is Tails.
Knuckles was a stand and deliver.
Knuckles was a stand and deliver. Knuckles was confusing Booker T. I'll twist. They're not funny enough.
Jeff Raidmaker quickly says, why is Wilborn scared of the Raw riddle?
It's a good question.
Mysteries are spooky.
It's Raw, so it'll hurt, not scare you. A riddle is not spooky. You have to read it with the light or the sun. R.I.P. Von Wagner. Thank you, Jeff.
Vaughn.
Are you twisting?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so
You stuck with this?
Stuck with this one, yeah. See if we can get out of this. Stop.
All right, I've gone very similar to where I was earlier, but
All right.
rules are rules.
1.
I don't think you're going to top this one, Sitch. I know they're protected, but bollocks to that. Obafemi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. He's had
Oba-
about 12 matches.
Well, Obafemi, there's people on Raw that have worked less than 12 times over the last year.
Yes.
Obafemi on Raw, please. Yes.
Okay. Sitch, top that. I'm scrolling through. I'm scrolling through the NXT roster page, and you are spoilt for choice for talent here. So we're going to stop.
Stop.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 12.
7. Is that my lucky number?
Well, it's one half of a tag team. Tank is going to be on his own because Hank Walker could go to the main roster tonight.
I'm tempted to stick. I've always liked Hank. He's got an
Yeah.
intensity that you cannot teach. He's got
It's that everyman nature.
that
about him,
everyman
isn't it? Yeah.
quality, an intensity. He's gone absolutely crazy in there on occasion.
Good backstory.
Good backstory. God damn it, I'm going to stick with Hank.
Wow.
Okay, I'll have one.
Go on,
as
then you
well,
have 'em.
Since it's NXT.
I've got a squeal before.
Okay.
They went
Stop.
1 to 4.
Ooh. 4, please.
Fantastic. I'm going to let you tell everybody.
Oh,
coming to
yes. Thanks for that sweet pay increase for going to the main roster.
Yeah.
We're getting a Lex offender on Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Lexis King, let's go. Hang on.
Oh my God.
I'll stick. Thank you
Go
very
to
much.
SmackDown, he can work Cody, and Cody can smash his throne. Cost me a bloody fortune. It's got wheels on it. Or he keeps trying to smash it and it keeps running away.
Oh,
That's a good-
whack-a-mole.
Build the story, just kind of make it up. Cody, you vouched for me in AEW, and then you deserted me, and it's like, because you were a rubbish son.
Well, there we have it.
Love Alexis King on the main roster. Would earnestly really enjoy that.
Lots to look forward to on Raw tonight. Thank you to everyone who's joined us, by the way, live on YouTube. Thank you for all your comments and your donations. It really is much appreciated.
Yeah,
We'll
thanks, guys.
Do this again soon. We'll be back tomorrow on YouTube to review Monday Night Raw, of course, and give you the answer to the Raw riddle. But for now, this has been the Raw preview. My thanks to Michael Havlett, to Michael Sidgwick. Thanks to our producer, Adam Nicholas. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.